So after a lot of work, this is the finished bow. It's heat treated, you can probably see on some of the limbs just with the heat gun. I did film most of the making, but a lot of the finishing stuff was left out, so there's a leather handle. That wasn't me. Put in a mahogany inlay just for some contrast color. It's the same on the tips, you can see there's a bit of mahogany. They're not fantastic, they're a bit wide, but it does the trick. It did raise 2 splinters, not initially, so it was shooting fine. It's about 55 pounds at my draw, which is about 26 inches, and then randomly I was stringing it while I was at work just to show somebody, and then I heard a clicking, kind of popping. It was a bit suspicious, checked all over, couldn't see anything, but they were obviously a bit deeper. But obviously from just looking at the grain orientation on the side here, it's pretty much perfect everywhere apart from where these splinters are. So there's a section where it just runs slightly up through the limb. You can't see that, up through the limb. So that's where the splinter's raised. I've added 2 patches. It's just serving material with super glue, and that keeps the splinters down. They haven't raised since, I haven't had any issues, there's no clicking. I've shot it since and it's fine. I wouldn't necessarily trust it as much as one that hasn't raised a splinter, but it does the job. I do think the issue was partially down to my bowstringer. The way this bowstringer works in particular, it doesn't hook onto both ends. It has like a leather patch that goes slightly further down the limb on one side. And what I think was happening is the hook section was attached, so that was there. This full limb was getting strained a lot more just to get the bow braced versus the top limb, and it shouldn't really matter, but just because of the fact that there's this grain run out on this bottom limb, it gave it an opportunity to splinter. It probably would have happened from shooting anyway, but yeah. So that's the bow braced. It's about the same height as me, a little bit shorter when it's strung, but I think it's 67 inches. That's what I went for. And then at full draw, so yeah, that's the finished bow. 2 patches. It's got a little leather tab for an arrow rest. I was just shooting it off my hand, and that was pretty comfortable, but it is nice to have a little piece of leather just in case one of the fletchings decides it's going to try and make its way into my skin. So yeah, I don't normally name bows, but I called this one the Mule, probably because I tillered it pretty poorly. It's quite a lot of hand shock on this bow. It's not the most enjoyable to shoot. It does shoot very fast, but at a cost. So yeah, any questions, just leave a comment on this video.